It is that time of year again on this channel. Premier League predictions, European predictions, domestic predictions. The football season's back, plenty more content coming on this channel. So, a couple things to do. Subscribe to this channel for more content regarding football. There'll be more this season than there was last season. Go on in the description below. There will be my TikTok page there as well. I am working on getting my Instagram page sorted out. I've just got to figure out a few things to separate it from my personal one because I don't want it being linked together for obvious reasons. However, that will be getting sorted out soon. Now, like I said, that time of season again, I can predict my sort of who finishes in top of the league, who gets Champions League spots, who gets relegated, and all the other European competitions as well. So let's just get straight into it and not waste any time. Now, I'm going to start with relegation, get that out of the way. I'm going to go out on a limb saying that Leeds and Burnley will go straight down. The reason I'm saying that is because I've watched quite a few sort of content creators in regards to their transfer business, and they are saying, I've heard in places like throughout the whole since the end of the season that their attacks are still weak in certain places. But yeah, I'm going to go Leeds and Burnley for first two relegation spots. I'm going to go Brentford for the one above that. The reason I'm saying is quite a few reasons, to be fair. They've lost Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank, the way his coaching style is, and don't get me wrong, maybe Keith Andrews is a very good coach. I don't know, so I'm going to go off what I sort of, I'm basing off my current knowledge on, and I don't think Brentford, especially with the quality they lost as well, they've not had Tony for a while, which Thomas Frank was able to deal with that very well. They've lost Mbumo, they've lost their captain. It looks like they will lose Johan Visser at some point. They've lost quite a bit. And to be fair, it's difficult to replace quality in terms of being a club the size of Brentford. The way they scout their players is difficult, and they're not going to go buy the biggest talents for like 40-50 mil. That's not what a club the size of Brentford do. They're a selling club, and I struggle to see how they're going to cope with the losses of the managers and the players. So yeah, Leeds, Burnley, and Brentford are my picks for relegation this season. We'll go with top four. It's going to be Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea. In that particular order. I do think Liverpool will win the league. I think they will get Isak at some point, because it's pretty much the relationship between Isak and Newcastle is pretty much gone. There was a tweet today saying that he's out for the squad against Aston Villa tomorrow, so I struggle to see how he's going to get back into the team. Get back into the squad the way that he's acted, but I think Liverpool will win it. Even without Isak, I think Liverpool will win it. Yes, they weren't great in the Community Shield, but that means nothing. We won the Community Shield, we didn't win the league. Man City lost quite a few, and then they won the league after, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, and the reason I'm going to put Arsenal above Chelsea, even though Arsenal I'm not really optimistic for the season ahead, is the consistency. I don't think Chelsea have shown that consistency over a long period of time. Yes, they won the 2 trophies, but to be fair, there was a big chunk from Christmas onwards for a good couple of months where they were not consistent at all. And will they find that consistency with a better quality this season? Maybe they will. I don't know yet. However, based off my current sort of situation with regards to where the clubs are at, and look, they will come in confident for this season. However, one thing that they will potentially struggle with is fitness, because they've had a long season and they haven't had much of a break. Yes, they've had maybe a month or less than that in between games. However, how will their main players cope with that? And it's a World Cup year as well. Let's not forget that. So fitness will definitely be a concern. And to be fair, they have built well. They have built their squad very well, apart from maybe the defence and the goalkeeper. But we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I'm going to leave Europa League, so I'm not sure how that works. Depends on the coefficient this year, but to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if Man United are up there again. Not up there again if they get up there, because I think the quality and attack alone will definitely help that. I think they need to sort out the midfield and the manager as well. I don't think he's the right fit for them. However, if they somehow lose Amorim in the season, then that may change their whole season entirely. So I think they're a little dark horse for getting into Europe. Tottenham with Thomas Frank, definitely they've done some decent business. They still need more, in my opinion. But yeah, so I think Tottenham and Man United definitely have a chance of getting up there. Do I think they will get up there? I don't know. It depends, because we might see another not so big team climb up again. And to be fair, Newcastle, will they be up there? Because they've been dreadful in pre-season. Nottingham Forest, maybe, because they did show a lack of consistency last season, and they have got Europa League now. Crystal Palace have got Conference League, so they may be focusing on that more. And you know what? Aston Villa, they may be you know what? Yeah, I'll put Aston Villa 5th, and then I think 6th and 7th maybe will be either Tottenham or Manchester United. Either way. Now I'll start with the FA Cup. It's a sticky one for me because I want to say Arsenal because we need the trophy. We need trophies desperately. However, with Arteta here, we won't. However, I'm going to go out on a limb here saying that if Arteta gets sacked by November or December, hopefully before the FA Cup starts, we win the FA Cup. You heard me right. If Arteta gets sacked before the FA Cup starts, we win it. There's too much the squad is there to win a trophy. However, with this manager, he is starving us of doing that. So that is my prediction for the FA Cup. If not, I think maybe Liverpool or someone will win it again, or even Man City. And to be fair, I will not be surprised if Man City go and win that Carabao Cup as well, because they need a trophy because they didn't win it one last season. To be fair, of recent years they haven't taken a League Cup seriously. However, it may be in Pep's interest to take it, to actually try win it again this year, to build that confidence of winning trophies again. And it is the first trophy you can win of the season. So I'm gonna go Liverpool, Man City for the FA Cup and League Cup. However, I would not be surprised if hopefully Arteta's gone, fingers crossed, and Arsenal can lift that FA Cup because we need something. Champions League for now, I'm not too sure who's in the Europa League because there are still playoffs going on. However, it's out to me in Europe to win it is Barcelona. PSG, how will they cope with the extra games played in the Club World Cup? They looked horrible in the Super Cup final against Tottenham, but still somehow won it. Barcelona, I think they were my favourite. They were one of my favourites to win it last season, or at least one of my favourites to get into the final to face PSG. However, I think this year I think they will do it, and they've got too much quality in attack. They've got quality in midfield. Yes, they play such risky football, but to be fair, with the quality they got up front, that doesn't matter. They can afford to risk putting their players forward, like Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski still there. They got Rashford now added in. I think Ferran Torres is still there, I'm pretty sure, and he does score a few goals for them. But yeah, I'm going to put them as to win the Champions League. Golden Boot, I'm going to go Mohamed Salah again. I would say Erling Haaland, but I'm struggling to see how... Well, it depends how they settle in regards to the creative players at Manchester City, because they've got Cherki, they've got Echeverri, they're going to lose Savinho, so there is a bit of creativity lost there. They've obviously not got De Bruyne anymore, who was vital in, getting Haaland his goals when he was scoring goals for fun. One player I would not sleep on at all is João Pedro, because that guy's clinical. He's a techie baller. He's got Cole Palmer behind him now, so I would not sleep on João Pedro to win the Golden Boot. And I do want to say Gyökeres, however, I don't think he will score goals. I think he'll get at least 20 goals in the Premier League this season, in spite of the manager and the way he plays. However, I don't see him going that far compared to the other strikers in terms of creativity in their team, getting the goals. Now, I could maybe wrong. Hopefully Gyökeres wins the Golden Boot, but I am going to go Mohamed Salah. But I would not be surprised if João Pedro is up there for a shout of it this season. Player of the season, I'm going to go Florian Wirtz. Now, there was a lot of criticism of him in regards to the Community Shield game. However, I saw enough in a short little space of time to think, yeah, this guy's going to be good for Liverpool. And there are a couple shouts again. Cole Palmer is a massive shout. If Ødegaard can get his creativity back in order, which hopefully he will, because hopefully Rice and Zubi in a double pivot will allow him to be more free. Hopefully, again, with Saka, hopefully he can get back to his best. But the one that's definitely sticks out to me is Florian Wirtz. And yeah, that guy's a quality player, man. Yes, he costs a lot of money, but that's what you've got to pay for players like him. Now, that is it for the predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and remember, subscribe, like, share, and on TikTok, follow, like, share, do whatever you got to do to help the channel grow. The Instagram page will be coming shortly. I'm just getting a few things sorted out, but that's it from me, and I'll see you lot tomorrow for the Manchester United against Arsenal preview in a bit.